Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. We have made it to week 8, final week of these classes. I know I'm ready for a change in that. I'm sure you guys are as well. So, just a quick update on me. I am at Indiana Wesleyan as a GA working with the brand new football team for the last, 2 months now. It's been very interesting, working with a team who has so far only played 3 scrimmages. Thankfully, not very many injuries. I think it's something that we're lucky in that aspect, but also the guys that are injured, trying to keep them motivated to get them back has been a challenge that I wasn't necessarily expecting. So that's kind of where I am. It's definitely exciting and new, but been a fun challenge as well. So with this week, talking about the return to participation phase of things in rehab and the psychosocial issues that may go along with that. Just to start with talking about some of the what's the word I'm looking for, the issues that may be expected with that, such as re-injury anxiety that athletes may feel coming back from, say, a torn ACL on that first day that they're cleared to start doing lateral movement. I'm just trying to get through that mental block of fear of if their knees are actually as strong as it is, and getting them through that. Having to rebuild their sense of athletic identity, and maybe they have been away from the team so much just because they haven't been able to attend practices or different things like that. They feel isolated and don't feel a part of that team anymore, can hurt their self-esteem, other things that you guys know about. I know specifically, I think we have been dealing with one of our football guys who's been out for about 2-3 weeks now with a concussion. Hasn't really been able to do much with the team, and I know he's been struggling just in terms of trying to fit in and see what he can do to remain active in his role as a teammate and still feel supported by those around him. So that's something that we've been having to work through with him and explain that it's going to take time. We're going to get him back, and he's still able to feel those connections. So those are just some of the things that an athlete might be having to work through and deal with, and so the chapter goes on to discuss several different strategies that we as healthcare practitioners can use to facilitate confidence and raise an athlete's sense of self-esteem, and help them understand that their body is physically able to progress to return to play, and that mental block is something that we can work past and break through. So specifically, I know I just wrote my assignment over imagery, goal setting, and relaxation techniques. And so when it comes to imagery, that is something that I've not necessarily had a lot of firsthand experience with, but I know one of our other certifieds here at IWU, Jessica, has provided an example of work she did with a thrower on the track team who um, actually let the hammer slip. It went through the net, hit a spectator, and in the head, injured her. And so the athlete had to work through that type of, not necessarily physical injury, but emotional distress, and was struggling to get back into the throwing box. And so Jessica was able to take her through some imagery and working through a very specific script in a specific setting, and talking through that each day to help the athlete in her mind be able to see her throwing the hammer cleanly, smoothly, nothing going wrong. And that can build up that muscle memory that allows the athlete to go back out and compete well without the increased anxiety and stress that can come with returning to participation, whether it's from something like that emotional distress of hitting a bystander, or that emotional fear and anxiety of, am I going to be able to make that cut, or that make that jump when the time calls for it. In terms of goal setting, I think that is something that we as athletic trainers get a lot of education in. We've become very proficient with it through our rehab classes, and knowing that by setting these short-term as well as long-term goals, we give the athlete something to grasp onto, and it helps the athlete see that progress is being made, helps them to adhere better to their rehab programs, helps them to gain confidence, helps them to feel like they're getting better, even when in that 6 to 7, 8 month ACL rehab, they may not feel a big change in things the first couple months. They may not see things changing, and so we have to be able to help them along in that and help them gain that confidence back. And I think that is a big one that's very easy for us to grasp. Personally, I see a lot of benefits to imagery and being able to do that well, and really help the athlete mentally be prepared so that their body can follow along with that and they can compete well on the field. And then also, I just think social support can play a huge role in all of this. I know throughout this class, I think that's the biggest thing that's jumped out to me and I've gained a bigger appreciation for, is just how much support we as athletic trainers can provide, both emotionally and informationally, and just helping that athlete feel more in control of their situation and like they have a better grasp on things, helping them to progress a little bit better through rehab, both physically, emotionally, and mentally. So that's what I have for you guys. Hope I kept it short enough. Hope you guys are doing well. Miss you all. Let's finish strong in these last week, and we will be on Christmas break before we know it. Bye, guys.